Grand rising, everyone. Hope you're all doing okay. Hope everything's fine and your day is going as planned. This is Denzamus, and you guys are welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empaths free. If you are new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality. I talk about personal and self-development. And if that's what resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us, give us a like, share the video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back. And I thank you for your love and support. Now, this has been according to my experience. So if you guys have got something else you want to say on top of this, as you guys know, let us know in the comments below. The comment section is open for the survivors and victims, okay? Not for the narcissists. So if you're a narcissist and you're trying to infiltrate the comment section, you're going to be blocked. Your comments will be removed. You've been dealing with a narcissist for a while, okay? You've been going back and forth, struggling here and there. And then somehow, you snapped, okay? Something came to you, and you have kind of figured out you might be dealing with abuse. Spiritually, you have seen something you wasn't supposed to see. Or you have heard something you wasn't meant to hear. For the longest of time, any form of evil, toxic, or narcissistic person has been trying to hide you or to push you very far away from yourself so that they could have their own way of understanding you that is easy for them. Because again, it all comes back to narcissistic supply. They have always been wanting supply from you. So before they get the supply from you, they need to drive you very far away from who you really are, okay? You lose your authenticity, you lose your swagger, you lose your signature, and now they are able to beat down your vibration, and the abuse will kick in easily because now you have become the main source of supply. In other words, the next victim of abuse. And then eventually, something happened, you snapped, and you notice that the narcissist is starting to slowly run away from you, okay? They're avoiding you. You know, you're very surprised. You've been like 20 years, 25 years with this individual, going back and forth, arguing and fighting around and this kind of stuff. All of a sudden, everything has stopped, and now they have retreated. Let me help you understand demonic warfare. When the demons are fully in operation against you, the ones that are working through the narcissist, you was meant to be asleep. As a matter of fact, if you guys didn't know, the very first thing those people did, that individual did, was put you to sleep. So there was things you wasn't meant to see. There was stuff you wasn't meant to hear. There was information you wasn't meant to have as regards them, okay? Should a narcissist feel or discover that you're slowly catching up on their game, they're going to hang around a little bit. They'll not immediately retreat or whatever. They may hang around a little bit just to keep on checking the buttons, because a narcissist is very obsessed about their source of supply. That is their food, okay? Anybody who is providing any form of narcissistic supply, you're like a food, you're dinner, okay? You're an energy source. So they are going to keep on coming back and forth. They always need that supply from you, so they will keep on pushing in and out of your life. But when they start seeing or feeling you're slowly catching up on their game, they're going to kind of draw back a little bit, because they may notice the game has flipped a little bit. It feels like there's pretty much nothing much they can say that is triggering you. That's what happened to me, okay? So the moment I figured it out and I understood what it was, I was like, okay, so this individual needs supply. I'm going to block that supply. I'm going to unplug the generator so they're not going to get any supply from me. So I changed the game. There was no reaction. I couldn't answer more about whatever they was asking for. I was avoiding them at the time. So they're going to feel like there's a deficiency in energy because I've told you, the demons feed off of your energy. Okay? Should they notice that you don't have any more energy to offer, that's when they now may decide to retreat and they're going to run off to somebody else who will not ask any questions, who is going to be an open source of supply. So an evil person is very much afraid of a person that can look or see through them. They are afraid the moment a person that they once considered a main source of supply, they are very much scared and afraid of you snapping and waking up. They do not want you to wake up, for starters. When you wake up now, the whole game starts to shift. They are realizing that there's not pretty much they can do and nothing much they can get from you. So it terrifies an evil person when they're dealing with somebody who is fully aware or awakened and fully understands their behavior. Number one, they are worried that you're going to catch up on them. Yes, you've caught up on them. They feel it because you are no longer a main source of supply. So they are much worried about you calling them out, okay? Any form of evil person or narcissistic individual is extremely afraid and terrified of anybody that is going to try to call them out, okay? They have been running from the truth of who they are. They have been hiding in the shadows for the longest of time. Nobody was supposed to know. Nobody could have seen it. But when you have done snapped, then eventually they feel you might have the ability to call them out because you know exactly how the game goes. So that is why now you will see those evil people starting to retreat. They are terrified. Okay, if you're still in that vicinity, they might even want to try to harm you. They could try to smear your name and things like that. Anything they can do to protect their image. Because a narcissist has been doing everything necessary to protect their image at every cost. So if you're going to break that illusion by you knowing the truth, that is what terrifies them. So like I've said, if you are in that vicinity at that current moment in time, they may attempt to hurt you. Okay, so don't wait for that moment for them to hurt you. You need to start preparing to move. But when you do move, eventually, they will spend a significant amount of time and they're going to spend a lot of energy trying to spy on what you're doing. Any narcissist, it doesn't matter what narcissist you have been dealing with, father, mother, whatever, sister, family member, wife, husband, the first thing they're going to do is to stalk you. They're stalking you because they feel like you caught up on them. And they feel like you're going to let the world know what they have been doing to you behind the scenes. So that's the reason of the stalking. It's the very first thing what they do. They're going to stalk you. Should they feel you have indeed caught up on them because you may be able to blow the trumpet, you may decide to speak out. Not everybody who has been in abuse is going to speak out in the initial stages of the discard. But it will happen at some point. You're getting back your power, you're getting back your energy. You have gone through an experience that you feel you need to share with the world out there. So you may eventually decide to speak out, okay? You might have your own platforms where you want to share your stories and stuff like that. So they will stalk you and they'll be behind the scenes listening to your story. Should they figure out you have caught up on them and there is something you are mentioning, they know you're talking about them, they are going to retreat. For the most people who are even closest to them, it may send them into a very huge narcissistic injury. They may hide away in the closet. You may now start to see they're not even going to work. Sometimes they're avoiding their jobs. They're trying to avoid people. They're coiled up in their own houses. They will shut all the windows. They will shut down the curtains. And they are going to go ghost. That is when the narcissist is going to ghost you. Because they do feel Even sometimes you may call them and they will refuse. That is if you want to call them. Me personally, I don't want to call. I couldn't even call my ex-abusers. But if you do that, they'll not pick up the phone. Okay? They're going to refuse to pick up the phone because they feel there is something you're going to mention is going to crack through their facade. So that's when they ghost you. And another reason why sometimes they will retreat, they now know that you are no longer offering any supply, narcissistic supply to them. They know. So they are now going to use that time to try to focus and concentrate on getting an alternative. That's if the alternative is not there yet. They are going to focus energy and attention to get an alternative source of supply, somebody who doesn't know their game, so that they can now press the repeat button and play this game on somebody else. But if they have actually got somebody else, in that moment in time, they are now focused on the new supply. So they are very busy grooming somebody else. You can take this from me, ladies and gentlemen. If you have left a narcissistic individual, they have somebody else. If the person is not there, maybe the discard took them by surprise. They are suffering with an injury. You have injured them by leaving them. When you leave a narcissist, you have already injured that person very deeply. You have caused a very massive narcissistic injury, and they are trying to deal with that injury. Okay? But of course, while dealing with that injury, you are still the problem. They are going around smearing your name and telling everybody you are the problem. Whatever happened, it wasn't their fault and stuff like that. They are going to become the victims quickly, and eventually they'll become the victims, and you are the problem. So don't worry about the smear campaigns. I've done a video on that. So they are grooming now. They are grooming the new boy or the new girlfriend, whatever they have got on the side. If it's a family, they are very busy grooming the next scapegoat. They are trying to find who is going to be the next scapegoat in the family. So it's where now you may hear or you may see somebody who used to be in the family in the background. They wasn't pretty much paying attention to that individual. You are now going to start to see they are bringing that person closer to the front line. If you see a family member, if you've been a scapegoat of the family, maybe a black sheep who has left, and you see a family member who has been in the background, nobody used to pay attention to them, and all of a sudden, you have left the unit. They are now bringing that person into the family, bringing them closer, maybe joining the family group or family groups, whatever, WhatsApp groups. Then you have to know they are now grooming the next source of supply. And the next source of supply is rarely another person who is most likely a narcissist. They are going to find the other silent member, a lost child, invisible child, or probably they may try with the golden child. Although the golden child may not be the best source of supply for that family system, dysfunctional family system I'm talking about. So they are grooming, okay? They are trying to find an alternative. Because remember, a narcissist only survives when there is supply. When there is no supply, they are going to collapse. You may find them in their bed. They have already collapsed. They have even some case scenarios they could pass away. So it is the supply that they depend on. Okay? Without supply, they are gone. So when you have caught up on an evil person, they will ghost you. Reason number one, they are afraid you are seeing through them for the very first time. You are seeing what they have been doing behind the scenes, and they are afraid you may be able, you have the ability to call them out. And they cannot handle to see themselves for who they are, or for the very first time to look at themselves in the mirror, because you are forcing them to look at the mirror so that they can see how evil they are. There is no demon that wants to look at themselves in the mirror. They will always continue running from themselves, and you'll always continue to be the problem. Number two, they are very busy scratching around for the next alternative source of supply. So they know that you're gone. They know that there's no more business with you. They don't want any engagement with you. They will not call you. They are not going to show up at your house. They are going to ghost you. They are going to run away. And they are going to spend a lot of time and energy in finding an alternative, a replacement for you, a new source of narcissistic supply. Okay? So that's why a lot of times evil people will ghost you and they're going to go quiet. So for the very first time in 25 years, 20, 14, 7, depending on how long you've been with them, you're going to see for the very first time that evil person avoiding you, staying very far away from you. They do not want anything to do with you because they know you have finally caught up on their game. Okay? And they're afraid and worried about what is going to happen next. Okay? They're worried about taking accountability or you holding them accountable for whatever it is they've been doing to you behind the scenes. Okay? So if there's another reason you guys know that I don't, let us know, like I've said in the comments below. You guys know I do love and appreciate your support. Please book a session if you want to. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. Desamos signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.